my first day at my GP placement and I'm all set to head out. Let me show you my outfit. So today I opted for this jumper because it's a bit chilly outside, paired with this trousers and black loafers. I don't know if you all see it, for the professional look. And let me show you what I've got in my bag. I've got this medical dictionary just in case I will need it, a notepad where I'll be doing all my note takings. I've got my stethoscope, even though it's the first day and it'll be all about observation, but just in case we are told to take an examination. And I've got a pen, and I've got a light pen as well. I've got my bottle of water. Since it's my first week, it's more of an observational role, so I didn't really have anything specific to prepare. It's a 25 minutes walk from my apartment, and I'm going to enjoy the stroll and mentally prepare for what's to come. I'm all set to leave now. I'll catch up with you when I get there. I'm back and I couldn't really film inside due to confidentiality reasons, but I can share my experience. Today was all about observation, understanding the dynamics of clinic and the general practice, and gaining insights into patient care. It's incredible to witness healthcare professionals in action and see the difference they make in patients' lives. Although I couldn't capture it on video, but I'm excited to share my journey and my learnings through this placement. Let me ask this question. Is there any doctor that doesn't have a nice handwriting? Not even one? Well, I got in quite early today and I was told to sign in and to fill some forms. I did, and then the receptionist was like, "My dear, you can't be a doctor with this nice handwriting." And I was like, "Don't worry, I'll get there. But not to brag, I have a pretty good handwriting, yeah. I just hope it doesn't change over the years. That is it. I just hope it doesn't change. And it was really fun. So I was told to wait for the GP. That was just by the way. I was told to wait for the GP, and when she came in, she was really welcoming. So I got there at 8:10, and the GP arrived at 8:30, even though her first consultation was at 9, but she got there early just to see that everything was in place. And also she knew she was expecting a student, and so she just needed that time to have an introductory session with me before she started seeing her patients. So she took me to her office, gave me a chair. There was this chair behind her seat. She told me it was meant to be for medical students on placement. Just that chair, yeah. I sat down and we started talking actually. So we started with a pretty nice conversation. She told me about herself, I told her about mine. I asked her some questions like, why did she choose to be a GP? Because obviously medicine is broad and diverse. So why she chose to be a GP. And she told me, and it was a really nice reason actually, which actually convinced me to become one. But let's see. So after that, she showed me her schedule and the number of patients she was seeing in the morning. And so before each patient came, she briefed me about their medical history and why they're coming in today. So um, I wouldn't be able to disclose all the cases that we went through. We saw about 10 patients this morning, did about 4 phone calls. So there were phone calls, appointments as well. And she also answered some messages online from people that needed advice medically. So some personal observations that I made on the GP side, the way she welcomed the patient into her office was brilliant. It was very, very good. And trying to make them feel comfortable and trying to let them understand that it is um, safe space for them to actually open up and come out with all their problems. And also another thing that I observed was the consent she made. So she actually seek for consent from the patients to allow me be around. So um, any patients that came in, she would be like, okay, so this is Sandra, a medical student, and I hope you don't mind she being around. And all of them actually agreed, and I was so happy. It was such a great opportunity just to witness their consultation with the GP, and I really learned a lot. Besides seeing the patient, so one by one she went out to call them in, but before every consultation, as I mentioned earlier, she would brief me about their medical history. I took notes, and the patient will come in, sit down, and then the consultation starts. So because of confidentiality, I'm not able to actually reveal everything, but I'm sure I took a couple of notes. I did, and it's good as actually there that nobody sees it because of confidentiality. Yeah. Most of it were a follow-up process, but some of them actually came up with new cases or new pathology that they felt like they were going through. So it wasn't only about what was said in the history or why they actually booked the appointment for, but whilst talking with the GP, they would actually come up with something else that they're experiencing. We didn't only see patients for their physical well-being, but also for mental well-being as well, which I felt like medicine is not just to cure the disease, but to cure the patient's life in general. In all, it was a good experience. I got a bit tired and I just had to stand up at the time and stretch because I wouldn't say it was a long morning, but it got to a time it was getting a bit bored because I wasn't really involved and all I was doing was to observe. But I hope next time I will be able to have my hands on something to do. I know. I wasn't able to have a debrief session with the GP because she was going to see one of her students. So, what I'll do whilst I'm back home now is to go through each case that we encountered today and reflect on them and also write my SRT. So SRT is structured reflective template, and this is required by the NHS for students and doctors as well to write or to reflect on each clinical case. But in my case, I'm not going to write about it clinically because, well, this is my first week, as I said, and they don't expect us to dive deep into the clinical aspect, but then they expect us to pinpoint the ethical rules or the medical ethics that we actually observed, such as communication, empathy, the right patient care approach, actually, in general. So, yes, I'm going to write that and I have to submit it. So, I'll write it, review it, keep it for now, and go over it tomorrow. And then I'll make my final submission. And then that is it for the day. I'm actually looking forward to the upcoming days where I'll get more involved and continue learning. Stay tuned for more updates on my journey through this placement. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to follow along. Thanks for being part of this exciting journey. See you in the next video.